Newcastle United are linked with a move for Hugo Ekitike on transfer deadline day. Arsenal also in pursuit of a new striker, with the future of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang still in major doubt. We're also going to take a look at the Yves Bissouma rumours this morning, with Aston Villa, Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United all linked with a move for the brilliant midfielder today. 50-odd million pounds is the reported asking price. Do me a favour and hit this like button now. Share, follow, subscribe to the Football Terrace. And this is another episode of the Done Deal Show. Let's do it. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Lots going on in relation to the transfer market today. Of course, it is deadline day. There are clubs scurrying. There are fans scurrying. Everybody wants updates. Everybody wants to know what's going on. One of the biggest pieces of news today, of course, I want to jump into first, of course, brilliant news that Christian Eriksen is back in the Premier League. He has signed for Brentford. We kind of knew this was coming. That has been formally announced that he has returned. He is ready. He is raring to go. But there's lots of transfers that people want updates on in relation to sort of particular players coming in, players going out, as it were. One of the biggest stories that we've seen circulating today is Yves Bissouma. The Telegraph have reported that Aston Villa remain interested in bringing the brilliant Brighton midfielder in, part of this Steven Gerrard revolution, which from a transfer point of view has been absolutely fantastic. The football has been great. They are looking at him. Now, there are some mooted reports outside of the UK from a French football outlet called Foot 365, who have claimed that United are interested in him, as well as Tottenham Hotspur. What's intriguing to me is a number of Brighton fans have reached out to me when we shared this news saying, listen, pay £50 million and he is yours. Of course, there's a glaring issue here with everything that went on yesterday with Greenwood and Man United. Yves Bissouma has, I'm not going to call it similar because we have no idea of the severity of or evidence behind those claims. But of course, there is a potential court case hanging over this individual player. So that, as well as the price and other signings Man United have been looking at, could play a key issue here. But it does appear that Yves Bissouma is available to move. And looking at the news that has come out today, personally, I do feel it is more Aston Villa that may reignite that interest. It is more Aston Villa that might pull this off than Manchester United, then Tottenham Hotspur. But the world is a funny place, and every now and then you get a bit of a shock transfer that comes out of nowhere. So I do want to get your thoughts and I want to get your feelings on that. That is definitely one that's going around and doing the rounds today. What's very interesting to me is Newcastle today, again, looking to complete at least two more signings. At least two more signings are going to get done and are going to get over. It look like they're going to be done and get over the line today. The first of those individuals, Matt Target, from Aston Villa to Newcastle, is done, and they are still negotiating, as you can see here, as per Fabrizio Romano. They are still negotiating over, and I want to pronounce this correctly, Hugo Ekitike, who could be on his way in on a five-year deal. And this has been an excellent transfer window for the Magpies. It really has. They've brought in a great mixture of experience and youth at the same time. They've got some players that are going to progress and get better over the course of time. They've got some individuals that are excellent from the get-go. And Newcastle have really done themselves proud. I really do think they have. And of course, Bruno's video yesterday triggering Gooners, which I just thought was funny. A lot of Arsenal fans are acting like they weren't really interested or they didn't really go in for him. Clearly you did. And he's obviously either bitter, angry, frustrated, in any whatever it is, he's trolling Arsenal, which I didn't really expect for him to see. But Newcastle moving forward there. And when it comes to Arsenal, I'll be honest with you, your guess is as good as mine. What we know is that Aubameyang is closing in, trending news right now. He is closing in on a move away. He's on the verge, as we can see here. That this is from Gary Jacobs. He's on the verge of joining Barcelona. There's no guarantees though that Arsenal are going to sign a replacement, and that's really what I wanted to speak to some Gooners about this morning as we gear up for a very busy day on the Football Terrace. We're going to be streaming 3 or 4 times today. Big long show later on, with and our final show actually with Bet Victor today as well. So it's all going to be part of an amalgamation up until the end of the transfer window, and I'm just intrigued to know what. I'm just intrigued to know what Arsenal fans are thinking and feeling today. Interesting news here. Interesting news here. I mean, this could be a gargantuan news today. Real Madrid and Kylian Mbappe have reportedly reached an agreement. Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid have reportedly met an agreement. Wow, what? That is big news. That is big news indeed, if of course true. That has come from out of a German outlet randomly, to be honest with you. Someone just sent me the link. Man like DJ just sent me the link through here, which I'll put up on the screen. Interesting transfer news there. I mean, that can be a pre-agreement. It probably isn't going to go through in January, but stranger things have happened. We'll take a look into that as and when more comes out in relation to that. Chelsea are not signing anyone like I predicted. All we've been doing is watching and standing by all window, is what C has got to say. Yeah, it very much looks as though that's going to be the case in relation to that. But there we go. Someone here says, Cap, listen, I'm just telling you who reported it. Yeah, it is. Is it pronounced Bild? That's who's announced it. That's just the news they've shared. It's up to you whether you believe it or not. We'll wait to see what else comes out later. Someone's saying it's a fake announcement. It could be. I'm just showing you what's been tweeted. Don't shoot the messenger. Go tweet them. go say something to them, my guys. Do you know what I mean? Doing what you got to do out there. It's as simple as that. Where else are we gonna go here? I thought they met an agreement last summer for the. Listen, I don't know, Josh. No agreement has been made. They made the agreement last summer. It would have been announced. We'll wait to see what comes out. Oh, Sports Witness have also tweeted this as well. So Sports Witness have shared this news as well, which is interesting. Terry, Fabio Carvalho coming soon. The Carvalho thing's really interesting for me. We know how talented he is. You guys were really kind of trolling Dean Jones the other day about this news. We know talks have happened. Fabrizio, of course, put this out just yesterday that talks are now entering the final stages. A £7 million proposal has been put on the table, but the structure of the deal to be discussed, payment terms, installments, and more. I saw people scoffing at that, saying, why are there installments over a £7 million deal? Because as we've been telling you on the Football Terrace now for 5 years, that is how the majority of transfers are paid. It's not new. It only got turned into a new thing when people tried to banter Arsenal with it. It's just how they're done. It's how it happens. It's the way it works. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just, someone said to me, why are they doing this? Because this is how they're all done. It's how they're all done primarily. So it's not news. It isn't news. It's like breaking news. Human beings need oxygen to survive. That's what it is to me. So, did you hear that rumor? What? That if you don't breathe for like 5 minutes, you die. Oh God. How have I survived for 36 years not knowing this? It's not news. It's just how they work. I love it. I love it when news like that gets shared and people are like, oh my God. Oh my God. It is funny to me. Oh, some more interesting news here, direct from Fabrizio Romano. That a few people have. It's nice when you guys tag me and stuff, because then I can just go to it very, very quickly indeed. I did want to also get you. There's this one here. First of all, this one here. This just took me by surprise. This window, Bryan Gil to Valencia on loan. So intrigued. I mean, this kid was looked at as being someone that was going to be a superstar. This kid was looked at as someone that had a great, bright future. I've always been really impressed when he's come on the field for Tottenham. I've always been impressed by how good I feel that he has looked. However, he's on his way to Valencia on loan. He will not be remaining at Tottenham this season, which for the rest of this season, which is, for me, very, very, very interesting indeed that has happened here. Other news this morning, Donny van der Beek has successfully completed his medical test and is now signing his contract to become an Everton player. A loan fee, full salary paid, but no option to buy. He will return to Manchester United next season as an absolute guarantee that is going to happen. He'll be a Man United. Well, he'll be an option for Manchester United next year. That is it's cast iron. It can't be denied or lied about or put down. 110% is what is going on. You mean oh, thank you very much. By the way, Prince Larry, thank you very much for becoming a legend and super fan of the Football Terrace today. That means a great, great deal to me. And if any of you want to become a member, we're going to be doing a full member stream tomorrow for you. Doing a full member stream tomorrow, and part of the Bet Victor and Transfer Deadline show tonight will also be for member-only comment section as well. If you want to sign up from as little as 99p, that all the information for that is in our description, is in the description below, or pinned into the live comments section now. Breaking news: I saw Terry's hair. Yeah, I postponed my thing until Wednesday now, just because I'll tell you as to why. I blame Bet Victor because their website, I don't know why, we've been doing transfers over the course of January, and it was always, where do you think X is going to be by the 3rd of Feb? So I thought the deadline day was like the 2nd or the 3rd. So I looked at today and tomorrow was like the build up to deadline day, because I just thought the deadline day was then, the 3rd, right? So I booked it in for today and tomorrow, thinking I'll be back for deadline day. And then it turned out deadline day is today. So I had to move it all around. So yeah, it's still getting done this week. I just had to change the days. Did you see Burnley's announcement video for Weghorst? No, I haven't seen it. What we saying is, should I go and have a little butchers? So I go and have a little butchers on this. I don't know who that player is, by the way. Never heard of him. Where is it? Where's the? I don't know. Where is it on their Twitter page? Okay, it's on their Twitter page here. So let me get their Twitter page up. Is that it there? Oh, is this it? I don't know. What's he going to say?
Really glad to be here. I'm really happy and I'm really proud. I'm really looking forward to see you all on Saturday against the important games against Watford.
Is this it? What's he saying?
Hello, Burnley fans. I'm really glad to be here. I'm really happy and I'm really proud. I'm really looking forward to see you all on Saturday against the important games against Watford.
Do you know what's mad to me and embarrassing to me? I'm always so impressed when somebody from a foreign land speaks better English than me. His English is so good. But what is that, the welcome video? Oh, I can't play this because it's like a Jurassic Park thing. Sorry, I'm just seeing it. Obviously, I can't put this on the screen for copyright reasons. But what we're looking at, I wish I could play this. This looks cool, but I'll get it done. This looks really good. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love it. That is so, that's so good. That's very good. That is very good. Oh, that's quality, bro. That's very, very good, Burnley. I like that, you know. Very, very good indeed. I like that. That's quality. Oh, hang on a minute. What's going on here? This is another bit of news here. Aaron Ramsey is getting closer to a move to Rangers on loan. Oh, Aaron Ramsey's career. Good morning to the Red Sea podcast. Is that which one of the two boys am I chatting to right now? Let me know. Right. I'm going to put the link out for the next 15 minutes or so. I want to hear from you today. Could Yves Bissouma be moving? Arsenal fans, are you starting to feel a little bit desperate? I want to know. Newcastle supporters, I know there's some of you out there watching. Give me your take on how you feel things have gone for you so far over the course of this window. I want to be hearing from you, but make sure like buttons are being smashed. Let's get the stream past 500 likes while we're live on the air. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. I'm going to share what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the link into the description. So what you're going to have to do is, you won't see it there right now because I've just added it, right? You're going to have to refresh your stream. So you have to refresh your stream right now, or come out your app and come back in and it will be there, or refresh the page, however it is that you're doing things. Go and get that done now. I am being directed here towards another piece of news that's just come through here. What is being said? Nothing. You guys have told me to go check out Ornstein's tweet. His tweet's 3 hours old. Or has he replied to somebody in the last few moments? Well, there's the thing about Tottenham amongst clubs to explore a move for Yannick Carrasco, but not too late. But too late, no chance. Ati may sell the winger in the summer, but not now. That's unless that's what you're referring to. I don't know what else to say. To you. Adrian's on the show first with us this morning to have his say. What are you saying, Adrian?
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, my friend. Who do you support?
I'm actually a Chelsea fan, but so this window's been a bit of a shambles. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm just surprised at how much business Newcastle was able to do, especially in such a short time period. I know that the consortium's been there for 2 years, so I guess they've been planning for a long time of what they were going to do with their money. But I just thought in a January window to do that much business, I'm a bit surprised. But
I am and I'm not. And when I say that, it's because business can be done. You just got to be willing to pay the money. And I think that there's a lot of cap that comes from a lot of clubs around. You can't do good business in January. It genuinely just comes at a premium. You generally pay a little bit more. And you know what? If your team's in a good position, you may not necessarily need to do it. Liverpool, for me, only bought Luis Diaz because Spurs were closing in on the deal and he was a summer target, as an example. I think when you're Arsenal, though, I think when you're Tottenham and you need to, and there's an opportunity for you to gain top four, win a trophy, and you could have acted now, then you should be acting now. The likes of Villa and Newcastle also know in the summer it's going to be harder to land all their targets because some of the bigger teams are going to be out there shopping as well. So they seem to have done theirs early, but very good business from them overall, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I also think, like, if you go before the window and you know exactly what you need, I guess it makes it easier to sort of assess the targets whilst you're in the January transfer window and actually make moves. And I think it's kind of interesting when you brought up Liverpool because, yeah, it seems as soon as there was any rumours about other clubs making bids, it seems like they've changed their summer plans to this sort of window plans. Like, I think I was reading somewhere that apparently Man City were interested in that Fulham player, so I'm guessing that might be why they're trying to move in now. But yeah, from a Chelsea perspective, I'm just hoping we just try and improve our scouting department because I can't lie, a lot of our signings just haven't really fit in, and that's why when a lot of people were saying, "Oh, we should bring in a wing back" or something, I was just a bit hesitant because looking at our past history, it's not been the greatest. So.
Do you know what's funny? Really, there was a lot of. I'm just going to mute your line when I talk. We're getting a little bit of feedback. Sorry. There's a bit interesting with Chelsea when Tuchel first came in. The notion was it was almost like Lampard's signings were more for the future. They were more for Tuchel. It was almost done with a view in mind. Like this, there was that spin, wasn't there? That Lampard was brought in as like a long-term interim to wait for the transfer ban to pass or something. I remember hearing that kind of fan theory, as it were. And the more you see 3 or 4 players not really working for Tuchel, the more you realize it's not particularly true. But Adrian, absolute brilliant call, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Next up on the show, we're going to go to Mo's here with us this morning. What are you saying, Mo?
Morning, Terry. How are you? You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm very well. What's on your mind?
The Bissouma. If we should try and get Bissouma. I mean, I don't think there's any transfers going to be done from my gut feeling for United. But if Bissouma is available and if he could leave Brighton, I don't know his personal situation, but we definitely need a CDM or get a signing in to just lift the morale a little bit. I think at the moment I woke up this morning and United fans seem to be a bit upset, a bit confused. Stay with me. I mean, I feel a bit down at the moment after yesterday's news, and a signing could actually, lift the mood. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
I hear you. Look, I think it's one of those things where 99.9% of Man United fans I've come across are more interested in justice being served to Mason, and
100%.
and of course his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, whichever it may be now, and I'm trying not to assume here, her being supported. But there is almost this element of fans where it's, we are now for all the right reasons from our standpoint, a player down. We have to suspend. We cannot allow him to play. We have to do that. But from a club point of view, you're missing an important player. So there's almost this element of fans thinking, well, we almost need you to go out and act today because we now need something. It's like anything.
I mean,
If me and you run a business and one of our staff members breaks the law and can't work for us anymore, as much as you are always worried about the victims, there is an element of you that's, but from a business point of view, I now need to go and replace somebody. Like, you have to think about that as well. So I totally understand where you're
so
coming from.
Martial, can we get him back or we can't?
I don't think it's, but I don't think those deals work where you can just recall like that. We've seen with Chelsea. Chelsea tried to recall Emerson. Was it Emerson they tried to get back and they just couldn't get the deal done with how it was structured? So yeah, it's not as easy as a computer game of just clicking the recall button and they come back.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously I know what's happening with United, but if you look at, I'm looking at a football in terms of view where we're one player short. Because yesterday I saw on Twitter where can we get Martial back, Terry? People were discussing, oh, is there any chance we get Martial back? Maybe Castle Long, we just bring him back. But I don't think it works that way. I think there's contracts have already been signed, exchanged. Even Donny now, Terry. Even Donny, like, I don't know. Maybe we could have put him in the team. I don't know.
Mate,
because Greenwood was starting every game. Don't forget, Terry. He was like,
I completely hear you. I think that, so I'm just doing my research on it, really. You look at the amount of players that have left Man United, and if we don't bring anybody in, my energy for Man United is going to be the same as it is for Arsenal. We've weakened our squad in a period where we need it to be a stick. And we're not like Arsenal. We're in the FA Cup still. We're in the Champions League still and the Premier League top 4 race. We need and I hear you completely, Mo. Listen, great call, great points being raised there. And we'll speak again soon. Top man. Thank you. I've been sent another link here. It does look like, according to a Barcelona-based outlet, I'm going to share this on the screen now, that Aubameyang is in Barcelona. I'm only going by what they have said here. We're going to get this up on the screen for you to be able to see in just a moment when it loads. There we go. There's a picture here. People are suggesting that is Aubameyang in Barcelona. It's from this account here. Verified, 435,000 subscribers. Barcelona-based outlet. They believe that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is there. He is on his way. If this is true, what are Arsenal going to do in response? I want to hear from you. Now, in the private comment section, if you're backstage, please leave me a comment to let me know what you're looking to talk about. I'll try and prioritize you. I don't want to speak about the same things 4 or 5 calls running. If you can let me know what you're trying to talk about, we'll mix it up as best we can. James here says if Bissouma goes to United, that will be a strong midfield. Oh, it will be. Physically, it'll be a very, very strong midfield if Manchester United are able to pull this off. But it's if Manchester United are able to pull this off. And that's the difficult point, and that's the difficult thing to get done. So we'll see if it's plausible. We'll see if it is possible to get over that line. Abdul's on the show next. He's here to talk about the Aubameyang to Barcelona move. What are you saying, Abdul?
Hey, Terry, can you hear me?
Perfect, my friend. Perfect, my friend.
You know I'm a Barca fan, so I have to come on this Aubameyang thing. Like, when you're looking at it from a January perspective, it has been a decent window. Like, we signed Ferran Torres, Adama, Aubameyang. But when you look at it, this season is just about top 4 for us. And we've really, ever since Messi left, like, we've really, really struggled in attack because he was literally carrying our attack, both creativity and goal scoring last season. Like, he scored like 40 goals for us. So I'm relatively pleased. Like, they're all short-term, low-risk signings because they are signings with no mandatory buy options and they're loans until the summer. So it's a win-win situation, really. They're coming in for almost nothing. Like, Adama Traore is basically on 15K a week. And Aubameyang it's what's it called, rumored that he's on nothing because there is literally no place on our wage bill, because I don't know if you know how this works. Do you know? Are you familiar with how the wage cap system works in Spain?
Not enough to articulate it. No. So and
Yeah,
they always say in life, if you can't explain it simply, it means you don't understand it. So yeah, if
yeah.
you could
So
explain that to us, mate, that'd be great. Thank you.
the way it works, unlike in the Premier League, they just set the rule. If I'm correct in this, that you're not allowed to have a certain amount of losses in a space of time. I think it's like 100 million in losses over a couple years.
Yeah.
That's the financial fair play rule in England. In Spain, it's very different. In Spain, it's based on each individual club, based on your losses and your income. You get set a certain wage cap. The higher your losses, the lower your wage cap.
Yeah.
And what Barcelona experienced last season was massive losses because of the pandemic. And due to this, their wage cap has been restricted beyond, like, it's crazy. But that's why it's temporarily, because each season they get a new wage cap. And this season, because of the post-pandemic stadiums opening up, they expect it to be a lot better next season. But for this season, the wage cap is so low that they are very restricted in regards to players who they can sign on wages. It's not, a lot of people, they misunderstand and misinterpret it. Just because you can't register a player doesn't mean you don't have money. It just means you don't have room on your wage bill to register it, because they've shrunk it so much because of the losses.
Mate, that makes sense to me. In terms of the quality of signing, and by the way, Bilal here says Fabrizio just confirmed it. With all due respect, it was already confirmed. Again, Fabrizio didn't confirm it. This organization here confirmed it. With all due respect, this organization here confirmed it. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there to you. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
He's confirmed their news. With all due respect, they are the verified outlet here that have said this is true. So what we really should be sharing is that, yeah, they've confirmed it, and Fabrizio has followed their news, which is fine. But yeah, are you happy with Barca's signings though?
With this, of course, you have to take the circumstances in consideration. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be realistic with the current situation and what's available on the market. And to be fair, in the circumstances, and when you keep in mind that we just got to get over the line, because, like, for Barcelona, they have to be in the Champions League every season. Every season they have to be, and it would be detrimental not to be in the Champions League. You know what I mean? So I completely see why they're doing it, but I would also be lying to you if I said like I don't like seeing these low quality signings. You know what I mean? Because it kind of brings a bad rep to the club. You know, because, like, we're signing players that are basically deadwood. You know what I mean? To try to help us in this situation. But
I hear where you're coming from.
You have to be optimistic, bro.
Yeah, and very quickly, Ousmane Dembele is linked with a move away from Barcelona. PSG have been spoken about. Man United have been loosely linked. If Man United signed in today, good or bad signing from a Barcelona perspective for Man United, not for you guys getting rid of him, but for us, is it a good signing, a risky signing, a worrying signing? What's your take?
A horrendous signing.
I thought you were going to say that, if I'm being honest. And you don't even need to explain why. I absolutely get it. I do. Abdul, my friend, thanks for coming on and having your say. I appreciate that, buddy.
You too, bro.
All the best. Take care. Thank you. Yeah, I kind of felt that coming. I think most of us felt that coming, and that's no disrespect to the man. It was just, as in, we know that in them legs, bro, them legs don't work. Pav's on the show now. What are you saying, brother?
Oh, mate, don't even talk about Dembele, man. That guy's just gonna put on more pressure on the medical team, man. Have you ever seen that video of, like, when all the players were coming out of Barcelona in their cars, they were shouting out the names, and the ambulance come past, and all the fans were like, Ousmane Dembele. I was like, Jesus, bruv. But yeah, obviously after what happened yesterday, I don't know if it's, I don't know if we can say this as fans, like, can we say that we need a player? Because I know with what's going on with Greenwood, I feel like we're a bit weak, and he's never coming back to the team. I know in my gut feeling that he's never coming back to the club. What he's done, he shouldn't be allowed. I can't say that with some of the players that we have in this squad that they're going to stay injury-free up until June. I think we need to get a midfielder in now. Now that Donny's gone, looks like Lingard's pushing for a move. Obviously, Ahmad's got on loan. Martial's on loan, and rightfully, then people should be on loan because they weren't getting any game time. But we're kind of thin, and I don't know how long's left of deadline day. Is it 11 o'clock or 6 o'clock? But we haven't got much time, and I don't think this club's going to do anything. And they've literally put Ralph under the bus now because he's come into a massive mess. Right? He probably was like thinking, "What the hell is going on now?" Like, obviously, you had all the stuff with players arguing in the dressing room. You've got obviously the incident from yesterday. Players obviously going out on loan.
Yeah,
the club really need to help this man, and they probably need to start prepping for the next manager as well. Like, you can't tell me that this club are now saying that they want to wait for the new manager, because whenever you ever bought a player for the previous managers that they wanted, you've always bought what you felt was best.
Yeah, I'm not buying that notion. It doesn't make sense to me with everything. Like, you've got this one element of like, Ralph's going to help them pick the next manager. So if Ralph's helping them pick the next manager, he's going to pick players that are going to suit the guy they're going to pick. This is just the club not wanting to spend money at this moment in time. We know how the Glazers work. That's my take on it. In terms of the Greenwood situation, I know a few people in the comments saying, but he still hasn't been found guilty. Listen, Man United have got to, just for a second, forget every other element of it, protect themselves. You do not want to have an Adam Johnson situation where you keep playing him and then it all comes to light in court, and it turns out, even if Man United ask for the information and go, "Oh, look, he hasn't done it," like, they just shouldn't and can't take that risk with the evidence that's been put out there publicly. And
it's the voice thing.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Like, it just can't be done. And I understand lots of people have the belief, and I understand why, of the innocent until proven guilty thing. That, for me, works in the sense of, in a court of law, I stand by 100% that everybody needs a fair trial. Everybody needs a fair trial, and that needs to be done. However, Manchester United are a private company that need to take their own action, and he needs to be away from the training ground, away from the matchday team, until this situation is resolved. And at the end of it, then again, you can, and I said this before, I'm not going to name the incidents because people get triggered, but there have been two major incidents not involving this type of legality. I'm talking more of the racism element. Just because your player isn't found guilty in a court of law doesn't mean they didn't do it, right? Because proving things in a court of law and knowing someone's done something. Listen, I grew up on a housing estate. Enough of my friends didn't go down for things that we all knew they did, and that's all I'm going to say on that. Pav, great call, my friend.
Just before I go, Terry, can I just ask you a question? What's your gut feeling? Do you think we're going to do anything today?
Right now, no, and it's starting to wind me up a little bit, because I think
same.
A lot of Arsenal fans have felt in the last week I've just been goading them and poking at them. People have missed that I've been saying it about my own club as well, and I'm starting to get wet. And I almost feel like, go out there today and do something. Go out there and break the bank today with what's happened, because actually, you know, the club needs it. The club needs that to be done. Equally, Lingard definitely can't go with everything that's happened now. We let him leave as well. We're leaving us. We're one or two injuries away from being destitute in certain positions, and that should never happen at a club like United.
It's Woodward's last day at the club as well, I believe.
Mate, he'll probably resign. We'll probably resign Fellaini then. Look, I'll chat to you soon, Pav. Top man. Thank you, buddy. Man. All the best, mate. Thank you. Make sure that like button's being smashed this morning. We've got Ryan coming on the show next. Big Brighton fan to talk to us about Yves Bissouma. We have a super chat here that says, strange how people forget how Ousmane Dembele was part of that whole Asian racism thing with Antoine Griezmann. Yeah, do you know what? I totally forgot about that as well. It's a really good point you just made there. I completely forgot about that even. Do you know why it is? Because it didn't happen to players that were here, and I don't cover those leagues. So it's kind of like, I don't cover it. Now, but I hear you. That's a great point being raised. Ryan's here with us now. What are you saying, buddy? How you doing?
Hello, Terry, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm very well. Bissouma linked with a move away on deadline day. What's your take on the general mood around Brighton towards him and his potential exit?
I think the general mood is as simple as, you pay the money or you don't get him. I think £50 million, the price tag, and I don't think Brighton will go anything lower than that. Obviously, you saw what we did with Ben White. It was literally, if you don't pay £50 million, you're not going to get Ben White, and we literally stuck to that until Arsenal did pay up. So obviously there are a few clubs interested. I think Aston Villa were one, but I don't think that will happen today. I think it will literally be one of the big boys. I think if Bissouma goes, he'll want to play Champions League football because he is probably good enough to do that. But yeah, I think the overall mood is literally £50 million. I don't think many Brighton fans will complain. He's got 18 months left on his contract. He's a good player as well. He's probably one of the best players we've ever seen play for us. But 18 months left on his contract, £50 million. You can't really say no to that. He's probably not going to renew now. You'd probably rather cash in while we've got the chance. We've proven we can do it without him as well. Obviously, we've got Moda and Alzate come back into the side. So I think in terms of depth for us, we'll probably be okay. It's just, I think now, if anything, is probably the right time for him to go.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was saying to someone the other day, I've had a question mark over him because not a lot of teams were pushing for him. I didn't realize, in my lack of research, to be fair, that he only has 18 months left on his deal. Maybe that's why some of the bigger clubs are thinking, we'll wait. Again, in the summer, he'll be cheaper because it's, again, closer to that contract running out. And then maybe you wait a year to sign him for free. But in terms of his ability, and you look at teams out there that are linked with him, Spurs, Man United, how much do you think he improves their midfields and their teams? What could he give to those teams, in your opinion?
I think he gives, as you can see with his time at Brighton, I think in the last 2 years, he's probably become the best player we've arguably ever had in terms of quality. All over the pitch, box to box wise. He's got a great passing. He's tackling very, very strong. I think overall, his whole overall game in midfield is very strong. I think anyone that gets hold of him is going to be very, very lucky. Obviously, he can cover sort of defensive midfield, but also he can drive forward. He's got a good skill set on him. He can pick a pass. I don't think there's much he can really not do. I think if you only need to watch Bissouma for one game and you can appreciate how good he actually is. And I can see him going to a big club. I think Liverpool are interested in it. I think he'd probably fit the best at Liverpool. I think that's probably the right club for him, but whether or not he'll go there, probably not. I think Man United are interested in him as well. You've got Tottenham interested. I think Aston Villa. It's just whether it happens today. I think it's a possibility, but as I say, it's literally just if you pay the 50 mil.
Yeah, listen, I completely agree with you. I look at it that way. I think I'd love him at Man United. He's from a technical standpoint, he is a phenomenal football player, and I've watched him play well in lots of games. Away at Chelsea, though, I felt was his best game I'd seen him in a Brighton shirt. Maybe that's because it's away at Stamford Bridge as well, a place that, if you think about it, in the last 20 years in the Premier League, how many midfielders have gone to Stamford Bridge and lost it, irrespective of who they've been up against? I know Scholes has done it before. You've seen Gerrard do it before. I've seen Man City's midfielders like Yaya do it on occasion, not like every season. Like for him to go there and do what he did, and with respect, a team that isn't. That those players I've mentioned had quality teams wrapped around him, and you guys are good, but pound for pound, like Chelsea should have been stronger in that game. And what he did in that match was just phenomenal. And yeah, I think he could do bits absolutely anywhere that he goes. In terms of yourselves, though, like, what's it like being a Brighton fan? I know we had you in the studio a few times this season, and you guys have, you've been the draw specialist, but actually, for a club your size, from where you've come from, you're being regarded now as one of the best footballing teams in the Prem, which by default makes you one of the best footballing teams in Europe. What's it like being a Brighton fan right now?
It's crazy. It's crazy when I hear someone else say it, because only last season I was saying it on podcasts and everyone was calling me deluded for when I said how good we played football, and everyone was saying I was crazy. But now we're starting to get results. It's funny, isn't it? Because you start scoring goals and all of a sudden Graham Potter's great, but when we weren't scoring, he's rubbish. It's just weird how football fans work. But yeah, I think it's crazy to think about only 10 years ago, we were chilling in the Championship, only just promoted from League One. And I remember being a League One fan, and I've watched Brighton come all this way. So, it is mad. But at the same time, I think we belong here now. I think over the last 2 years, we've proven we can pretty much dominate any team in the league. We go to pretty much anyone. Anyone that's watching this right now will say, yeah, Brighton played us off the park. They just couldn't score. I think that seems to be the theme of the last 2 years. But the way we're sort of set up now on and off the pitch as well, the recruitment strategies, the way we let players go. Obviously, we've let Dan Burn go to Newcastle now for 13 mil. That's 63 million pounds for Dan Burn and Ben White, who are important players, but not most significant players. We're obviously moving on to bigger and better for them. I mean, obviously, Burn's a Newcastle boy, born and bred. It's crazy the way we've sort of adopted this recruitment strategy of, bringing in Bissouma. We brought him when he was 21, relatively unknown from Lille. I think only cost us 15 million, and we've obviously bought him up, and he's grown with the side sort of thing. He's grown with the fans, and that's how we like to do it. And we'll probably sign another 18-year-old. I think we're signing in Seiko or something like that. I've probably said that wrong. 18, just turned 18-year-old. We'll grow up with the squad, and I like that. I like the fact we sign wonder kids.
Yeah, look, you've improved so much, and I think football's really interesting because what Graham Potter does next is like fan opinion. We're fickle, all of us, and Eddie Howe was Graham Potter 3 years ago, where when Bournemouth came up and were playing exciting football, everybody was like, wow, this guy, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. And, when he was linked to Newcastle, everybody was like, no, he's average now. You managers go through this, and you're a lot younger than I am. I remember when Martin O'Neill was the next superstar, up-and-coming young manager. He was going to take over Man United. Owen Coyle was going to take over from Wenger at one point. These things always have happened in the league. And you guys are playing great. And it's just one of those things of it's the hard thing is growing when you do have those traditional top six clubs and then the big Europeans looking at your players, because it's to get into Europe is so hard because you have those six as a standpoint, and then you've got the Wolves and the Villas and the Leicesters that are above you. It's just sometimes hard to hold on to that talent. If you could, I sometimes look at it and think, if you could keep Bissouma for another 4 or 5 years and add 3 or 4 more of him in different positions, you could create a team that could really compete, if that makes sense. Because the overall quality isn't there right now to finish in the Champions League spots. But overall, though, as you say, from where you were, I remember going to see a game with my brother when Leyton Orient played Brighton years ago. And to think where my brother's team, Leyton Orient, are now compared to yourselves, it's just astronomical.
Crazy.
It really is. It really is. It really is good. But, buddy, I really appreciate you coming on and giving us your take on Yves Bissouma and having your say. And let everyone know where they can find you on socials, my friend.
You can follow me on Twitter, just Ryan Adset, just my name, which I think is on here, it might not be, or TSR Football on Instagram. Obviously, we're on 53k now, so it'd be nice to bump the numbers up a little bit if you can. So cheers.
Go check that out on Instagram, people. Ryan, always a pleasure to speak, my friend, and we'll chat soon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Oh, man, take care. Thank you. We have a super chat here that says Bissouma is under investigation. Do not want him, is what Herdeep has got to say. And I understand people having that standpoint in relation to this. I do. It makes a lot of sense to a lot of people. A few people telling me to go check out Fabrizio's page because reportedly there's another new player that's just come in. Has it been announced? What are we saying here? Here we go. Yes, the news that we've got actually in the title of this. Hugo Ekitike, I've now forgot how to say the name. I learned it earlier. Could fly to England within the next few hours, ready to complete his move as clubs are getting closer to a full agreement. This is going to be a very, very interesting one. You research and look up this young lad, and he has done very, very well in terms of goals. I saw a stat earlier about being one of the highest goal scoring youngsters. What did I read? Where did I read this? It's like, I think 8 or 9 goals this year. One of the highest goal scoring teenagers in League A this season. Highly talented, highly touted. And, I haven't done too much research on him because I wasn't too aware of who he was, but Newcastle clearly haven't. If you actually look back, Newcastle have been linked with him all January. This isn't a deadline day panic buy from the Magpies. Talent aside, not a brightest idea to sign Bissouma. As like Greenwood, he's under investigation for serious assault. I think he's currently out on bail. Look, I totally understand that. And I think that's a very sensible standpoint for people to have in relation to this news. I really, really do. I think it makes a hell of a lot of sense for people just to be mindful of that and all that jazz. But people, look, we're going to be back. Actually, I've got Baz One here. Baz One is here. What are you saying, Baz?
Hey, bud. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm very well. What do you want to say, my friend?
Yeah, man. I actually was kind of disconnected yesterday, and then all of this came to me all at once, and I was really shocked. But in the same time, I'm going to tell you this. I've kind of kept this to myself, but over the last 24 months, I've kind of disconnected myself from Mason just from seeing the way he's behaved. Obviously, the first thing was the incident with England. I mean, that's just you're 18 years, 19 years old, and you're being invited to England, and this is what you do during a pandemic. There's a serious issue with your sensibility and maybe a little bit of narcissism there. And another thing, I watched it actually before I got on here. He had an interview with Rio Ferdinand on BT Sport, and he was asking him, what do you want to do next? He's like, I want to score goals, but I care more about the team. And it seemed like, when you see someone say something, but they don't mean it. And that's kind of like what I saw with him. And also, the last thing I saw, this was a couple weeks ago when the Ronaldo incident happened, that freeze frame where you saw his facial expression when Ronaldo was coming off. And I don't know the kid. I'm just saying, all of these things, they always connect together, right? And I even think about it deeper, because think about Ryan Giggs when he came into United, his little bromance with Lee Sharp, and Sir Alex Ferguson kind of shut it down right away when they got caught in that party or whatever. And Ryan Giggs put his head down and worked hard from that on. It's kind of like the same type of personality in some way that Mason Greenwood had. And we saw later on Ryan Giggs, what he's capable of, unfortunately, or allegedly. But I mean, that whole situation. But the club kind of kept them at bay. And I'm going to keep saying this. The kids in this club, are not being brought up in a good environment. Now, at the end of the day, it's up to you and your character to be who you want to be. Look at Marcus Rashford. Even look at someone like Anthony Martial. You might not like the way he conducts himself on the pitch, but that guy has a family. He's a normal person. So I mean, it's up to you.
Of course it is. And what I would say about this is it's hindsight's always very lucrative. What I would say is, Marcus Rashford's only a couple of years older than Greenwood, and the trajectories of their lives, their behaviors and things that they've done, again, based on what we know, a night and day. And I think that I know a lot of people are focusing on what have Man United done, what are Man United doing. Look, it's all going to come out in the wash. I don't think it's a representation of I saw a lot of people say yesterday that it's the money that these players have got and the freedoms they've got and the monsters that you create. But if that was, again, that only rings true to me if you've got lots of these young players from the same club coming out and behaving this way. And as far as we're aware, we haven't. And if we do, then investigate it, expose it, break it down. But it appears to be one person. And I think that, you've got that there's no reports of James Gardner acting like this as an example. There's no reports that Ahmad moved to Man United a year ago and turned into this vicious, nasty beast because he's been around an environment and he's being paid lots of money. Do you get where I'm coming from? Paul Pogba's been at Man United. I know he had a breakaway and came back. He's been at the whole time. He weren't a bad guy. We've got other youngsters at the club that are not. Do you get where I'm coming from? So I do get your point and everything else. Baz, we're at the end of the show now anyway, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say. I really appreciate it, my guy.
Cheers.
Top man. Thank you. And everyone that tuned in, we're back this afternoon with more content from 6 p.m. tonight. We're live through till the end of transfer deadline day. So make sure you stay with the Terrace. Lots of guests coming on, lots of callers coming on. The only channel that allows that to happen each and every single day. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless.